they don't have that problem. They can play aggressively. They can be the ones setting the tempo, getting out on the map. So I like that. I like that a lot. But it does put a lot of pressure, because like you mentioned, Ponlo is playing the sniper. That means there's even more pressure on 7E. Like this mid lane is not allowed to go badly, and his rotations have to succeed throughout the game.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing to touch on, right? Is this game really does kind of hinge on 7E being able to alleviate a bit of that pressure on the map, and if he's able to be active rather than reactive, then it just means that a lot of these ganks that are going to be coming out from Falcons, because we know that they like to play fast. We know that these guys have it in their arsenal to be able to play extremely quick. They can play slow if they need to. They can choke you out. Like, these guys have proven it time and time again that they are a very, very formidable force. So 7E needs to make sure that he's being the guy on the map to really put the pressure back on somebody like Skidder, who can't just sit back and farm at an Nature's Profit.
All right, let's do our predictions before this fight breaks out. Total number of player death by 10 minutes. What do you think?
It's going to be a decent amount. I think like 11 to 15.
Okay, I can see that. Total number of trees by 30. This one's always a crapshoot. There's a Nature's Profit in the game, so by 30 minutes, I'll put just before 300.
Yeah. That's I think too.
There's an NP, there's a Pango. All right. And then total number of Roshan kills. So basically, how long do we think this game is going to be? We haven't had 3 all day today, have we?
Yeah, 0 to 2.
Yeah, I'm going 0 to 2. Yeah.
I think 0 to 2.
Alrighty. Predictions are done. Let us see what this game 1 brings us between Team Falcons, regarded as one of the best teams in the entire tournament, taking on the side of Team 0. No bias for Ponlo, don't worry, guys. No.
There's no bias in this one, guys. That's right. We had no bias in the first one. No bias full stop. Big Stormhammer there from Snaking, though, to be able to protect Malrine. He has been doing a very good job as of late, being one of those players that is just... I feel like every single time that I watch Falcons just kind of own, it really has been off the back of Malrine kind of just being one of those players who is just absorbs so much when it comes to like eyeballs, and then just still outperforming basically everybody. So we'll see if he gets tested this TI about whether or not his potential hero pool is going to be stretched a little bit here.
This mid lane matchup, it should be pretty fine for him, right? I don't think Earthbird can do anything to you in the laning phase. So
I think it's definitely player dependent. With Pango against most melee heroes, I think it is all about outplaying and out CSing and getting towards those scary moments where you level 3, level 5, those power spikes get very strong for Pango.
Right now he's doing really well for himself. 70 will have to recover quite a bit if he wants to be able to catch up to this Pangolier. How are things looking on the side lanes here? Down bottom, Erica just farming away. It's unfortunate that they don't really have kill threat on this side of the map, but they might have a little bit here if they can find Snaking in an awkward position and then hit him with that scatter shot coming in from Ponlo.
Yeah, I think Snaking's probably going to have to misstep a little bit for them to get caught out in this lane. It's probably just going to be Skidder sitting back and farming and getting a lot of those early items, and then it really will be about the mid laners. I don't really see too much movement from either of these supports. Like, Crit can potentially make a movement, but then that's when Amar can really be susceptible to a counter gank. So really going to be waiting on a lot of these level 6s from both of these two mid laners before we see the first bit of aggression. But the way this lane is going, unfortunately for 7E, he is getting completely domed in this middle lane.
My boy is getting cooked, bro. Doubled up in the CS department right now. Lost a lot of HP. Malrine still has 2 charges left in the bottle. I mean, they'll both be able to replenish with water runes, but it certainly is this Pango that is putting in that work right now. And we already spoke about how tough this game will be for Team 0 if 7E has a bad start. And right now, this is one of those games at the moment where your team asks you how things are going. You're like, it's it's going, man. It's going.
I haven't died yet, so that's a positive. But yeah, this is not looking good here for the Earth Spirit. And it's one of those things where Pangolier can be so oppressive in these melee matchups. So Probably going to be looking towards a support rotation from Ponlo when he hits towards maybe around about that that level 3, level 4 mark, maybe around the first power rune to try and at least save that up for 7E so he can make those rotations.
Oh god, she's actually just going for him. 7E. He got dove underneath the tower. Malrine had the swashbuckle away, but 7E was legitimately close to losing his life there. Oof. Well, this is not all doom and gloom. You know why? Because you're mentioning 7E as a flashy player. Top lane, Ponlo, brought down by Skeeter and Snake King. First blood for this Nature's Prophet. Oh no. This is a problem.
Yep. You just walk a little bit too far and you're just a little dwarf with a big old gun and caught out by a Sprout, turns into a Stormhammer as well, and the right click is just too big there from Skeeter to be able to get the first blood. And right now, Falcons are out to a very dominant lead. All three of their lanes are going extremely well. Middle lane is becoming a complete whitewash so far here for Malrine. And the real question is, for Team Zero, is they need to try and make a rotation. They don't really have good heroes to do that in a Sniper and a Treant, but I would like to see them, beyond get to a point where maybe he hits that level 6 and they try to be aggressive with the Stampede and just try and get some kills off the map and try and alleviate the pressure. The big positive for them is the fact that Erica is doing relatively well in his lane. The highest for their cause, but everybody else is starting to struggle.
On the bright side, we have seen 7E in the past get absolutely dog-watered in his mid lane and still end up winning the game. Speaking of Erica, you cost us custom Fluke. What have you done? What have you done? He is gone. ZZQ might also follow him into the grave. Amar doesn't want to dive too far forward. There's going to be the Scatter Blast. Does Crit have the damage for this one? He does not. But doesn't care as long as they manage to find the kill onto the Shadow Fiend.
Literally, as I said Erica's name, Crit hit him with a full damage Scatter Blast and a cookie from the trees. And I was like, oh god, here we go. As soon as I said it, I'm just like, okay, well, things are not looking that great. So this is just the Falcons' way, right? Like they're so regimented in the way that they play a lot of their lanes. They're so in sync with understanding small little missteps that they will punish you for every single time that you just make a mistake, and they will just exacerbate all of those mistakes. And that's how they're out to 1,000 gold already in the first 5 minutes into this game. We haven't even really seen any movements in these lanes. So it is just straight up raw laning from the Falcons team right now. And if they keep this lead going, things are just going to get very, very fast, very, very quickly for Team Zero.
When it comes to lanes, sometimes when I watch Team Falcons, they remind me of Prime EG before they became like Shopify, when they were just absurdly good in the laning phase. Like, where you just knew for a fact, you're laning against these guys, the first 10 minutes are lost. It's about how you recover the game thereafter. They are so good at this phase of the game.
Yeah, big positive for Falcons as well, as they also have that, that Owie Tundra kind of mindset about how they want to team fight and play together. They had to win them the TI a few years ago. So that, in combination with the laning phase, is such a scary prospect.
And I have a fight right now in the river. 7E is in trouble. Oh, he gets bounced onto the high ground. This could actually save his life. He drops a stone so the magnetized burns onto Snake King, but he just wants to get out of here. Oh my goodness, the rolling boulder, 1 second off cooldown. Doesn't come back fast enough and he ends up dead. Now Malrine going up onto the high ground, finding Ponlo, who was given some living armor by ZZQ, but unfortunately it will not make the difference. 2 for 1. And the one that you kill is a 5, and you have to sacrifice your mid laner to do it.
Yeah, things aren't looking good here, buckos. This is really starting to become not very fun for the Team Zero fans. And once again, you've seen this in a million Team Falcons games. They get to a point where Malrine is very scary. They bring both supports to his lane. They leave Skitter and Amar on their side lanes. They've already won those side lanes. They play through Malrine. Anytime somebody comes anywhere near them, they kill them, they fall back, they stack a camp, they get more gold, and they just continue to build this lead. And it's just like this very robotic, I don't want to say robotic way of playing Dota, because watching Team Falcons play is actually really, really interesting. But it's just the way that they consistently do this to every team on the planet. It's just like, when are these guys going to stop doing this to everybody, right? Like, you would think, oh, they're just a patch team. This is just how the patch is. No, they do this every patch to everybody.
The way you're describing it makes Dota sound so easy. Like, oh, just do those things in that order, and then you just win the game, man. I don't know what your problem is.
Oh, yeah, it's just super straightforward, just winning every single lane and then being able to make the rotation perfectly at every power rune, getting 2 kills off the back of it. And
Bro, why isn't your mid
It's
laner
simple.
doubling up his CS on his opponent every game? You know, it's not that hard, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, man. Just hit more creeps than he does.
Yeah.
Easy mode. I've sold it, guys. Hold up. I'm just gonna send a message to the rest of the teams in the tournament. Just hit more creeps than Team Falcons. They will lose. Smile.
There we go. Well, Falcons do throw them a bone a little bit. Crit caught in no man's land. Gives up the kill to Erica. So that's going to feel good for him. And they do have a little bit of time where I think the priority now is doing what they're doing now. Catch up the farm and the levels onto 70. He is just way too far behind. He's 2,000 net worth behind Malrini before even 10 minutes into the game. That is insane how much he has worked in this lane.
Yeah, it didn't help that the rotation that they made for the power rune just didn't work out. And now Malrine, he's up and ready.
His first rotation from him. He goes bottom. Rolling Thunder connects onto the SF in the worst position possible. Fluke getting bounced around. Will get killed off. It's a killing spree for Malrine right now. And man, that is an excellent way to come back and make. And they're not done just yet. They brought Skeeter in. The power of this Nature's Prophet. They should be able to put pressure onto this tier 1 tower. They want it gone and they want it now.
Yeah, they just didn't get the vision there of ZZQ, and this is exactly what Team Falcons do. They understand that the SF is in a very vulnerable spot, and they just don't really have good ways of getting him out of dodge. Yeah, they've got Stampede on Beyond, but Stampede doesn't really help when you're getting knocked around by the Rolling Thunder, and they take that first tier 1 tower. There's going to be a little bit of a response here from Team Zero, but can they catch anyone? This is the problem. They've got a decent amount of good vision, but ZZQ's in an awkward spot.
Roll forward. It actually catches Amar on the back end. They throw out the Magnetize as well. Requiem will push Amar back, but he threw out the Doom. So even though he dies, he ensures that the Earth Spirit goes with him. Fight not over just yet. Crit throwing in some kisses. They have to get the hell out of dodge here. The Stampede getting popped to create the space and vision for them. So it's a 2-for-1 trade. Yet again, they have to sacrifice the life of 7E. But this time around, they get Amar. Sadly, though, they still end up losing the tower. So on net, it is still a loss for Team Zero.
Yeah, they got a decent amount of gold out of it, which is a bit of a positive for them. They made that little play when there was no Rolling Thunder, but the fortunate thing for Pangolier players and all the enjoyers out there is it's still, for some reason, only 90 seconds. I feel like this, I don't know. I'm a big Pango hater at this point. I feel like Pango has been just good for so long.
Oh no.
That we kind of just need to just remove Rolling Thunder, guys. Just get rid of it. He's had his time.
No, Beyond.
Maybe they get the kill.
He's been chased around and they will kill him, but Skeeter looks like he's gonna die for this one. 7E will definitely take it. Beyond doing his cause or doing duty for the cause. Can they catch up to Amar as well? Rolling Boulder up in a second. They smash forward. Boulder will be there. They connect onto Amar. We might be looking at a double kill for 7E. Amar's gonna at least try to bring down ZZQ before he dies. No, 7E went the wrong direction with the roll. They cannot allow this to happen. Somebody TP in. It's gonna be Ponlo there with the assassinate to provide the vision. They do find the kill. He almost got away with murder there. But it turns out that 7E instead is gonna be credited with some kills and glad to be involved in some carnage.
Yeah, you could see that ZZQ didn't want to pop the overgrowth, obviously. Didn't want to use it to try and get that final kill there, and then with the 7E just going a little wayward with the roll. So, there are responses here from Team Zero. I do. It is always positive signs when you see a team having a rough early game, being able to respond, being proactive, and being able to still get on the map. Nothing worse than going into your shell and just falling back and constantly just being ran at. So it is good signs that we are seeing Team Zero being proactive on the map, and especially 7E being one of those guys to do it. So they are a little bit behind, but all is not lost. They are still getting quite a lot of farm here on Erica. He's just sitting back and doing the Shadow Fiend things. Beyond has his Blade Mail up as well, and I believe 7E is pretty close to his as well.
Poor Erica. He was just doing the right thing. He even left the lane to try and farm safely in the jungle, but it happened as the smoke was coming in towards him. He dies. Nothing he can do about that one. Erica, man, they're not even going to give 7E the easy rune. He has to walk all the way to the top side of the map to get the shield rune. Big problems.
Yeah, it's big problems. I also like that Malraine's gone for this early blink too, right? You know, it's 12 minutes into the game. He's got himself a blink dagger. He's still got 1,800 goals on top of that as well. Like, he's going to have blink and pipe at like 13 minutes. So it's like Malraine is just understanding that he can just constantly keep putting the pressure on the map, and there's not really much they can do to him. As long as 7E is not the guy that's coming in and getting a lot of these team fight victories for them, Malraine can kind of play as aggressive as he wants. No Rolling Thunder means that this T1 tower is probably going to go down.
must say, speaking of the Pango, it's very atypical for me. When there's a game that has Nature's Prophet, Shadow Fiend, and Doom, but Pango is the one of the most net worth at this stage of the game. Wow.
Just goes to show, how strong he has been in that laning phase, and then also being able to transition that good laning phase into a very strong mid game as well. So Maori definitely have a good start here, but I really like the division coming in from both these two teams. You can see kind of the idea behind how they want to play. Falcons, they want to play a little bit deeper, try and catch out this Shadow Fiend, whereas the other side, Team Zero, they want to play on the opposite side of the map. They want to try and make sure that they are getting some of these towers and trying to give Shadow Fiend as much space as they possibly can until Erica can get to that point where he is scary in these team fights, probably up to the point where he gets PKB.
Good things are incoming for the side of Team Zero. Beyond is not that far away from having his Blink Dagger. We have the Solar Crest finish for Ponlo. ZZQ not that far away from having the Shard. And we just finished the Blade Mail for 70. So there's nice things happening. The only problem for them is that they just don't know where Falcons are right now. They can't necessarily leverage these items. It looks like they're thinking about smoking, but they will not because nobody has a smoke on them.
They're probably just
get
waiting
back to the mid lane.
For the dagger as well. I think there's going to be some really unfortunate timing that Marine is just going to have that pipe if his net worth keeps going. We're about 200 gold away here from Beyond, so if they be nice and quick with this blink and smoke timing for the Centaur, they should be able to get it just before the pipe gets finished from Marine, and that's a good little opportunity for them to try and get a fight where they can take down this Pangolier, because once that pipe comes out, your Requiem really goes for naught. 7E really doesn't do all too much damage either, and things start to get a little spooky for them. Crit though.
He gets the D-ward off. It might cost him his life in the end, and indeed it will. This is quite nice. Also, I like how this map is thus far bifurcated. Like Team Zero playing almost exclusively on the western side. Falcons playing almost exclusively to the east. And this time around, Crit went into no man's land. He didn't have his visa, so they bounced his ass back to the fountain. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes you try and roll up to a lane and then they say, no, you're not allowed in this hood anymore, and you just get kicked out even though that's your tower that is directly in front of you. And sometimes that's where Dota goes, right? Like, you just end up flipping the map. Like, Radiant plays on Dire side, Dire plays on Dire side. Just trying to wait for that one person to try and make the mistake of walking back into their own house. So see where this first fight goes. There's some nice little wardage going around here as well, but Crit's doing a really good job at just de-warding all of the vision coming out from Team Zero, and this is where things get spooky.
Such good vision. They go in, Stampede to try and get 7E out of here, but he's been doomed. Rolling Thunder's holding him in position. They threw some kisses at him, so they know he's going to be brought down. Nice kill. I'm kind of surprised that Team Zero are playing in this area without trying to de-ward here, given what happened the last time Erica was in the region. But they get a little bit punished for that lack of focus in that moment. Now they're going to be losing even more real estate as this map continues to shrink from them. Tier 2 tower under a little bit of threat down bottom. But crucially, with all of these mobility items emerging now for Falcons, double blink on their cores, a Nature's Prophet just doing Nature's Prophet things, I think the map is artificially smaller than what even the vision suggests at the moment. Now, middle, we have a fight going out. Malrine gonna get hit indirectly by 7E, but he does have Swashbuckle in a moment, so I think he'll be safe here. Swashbuckle's forward, doesn't kill off Beyond just yet. Beyond will live, getting out of here. The magnetized damage was a little bit too threatening for them to continue the chase. So though they don't get any kills, they do bail their buddy out of trouble.
It's so hard for them to kill Malrine, man. Like, if they're not like instantly initiating on him and blowing it up 100-0, he's just got swashes, he's got shield crashes, he's got pipe barrier, he's got 4-stars, he's got cookies. It's just too much for them to get through. And the unfortunate thing now for Team Zero is Malrine's being a first killer.
Came bottom with the Gleipnir, but they get overgrowth by ZZQ. Now look where Malrine is. He's close to the tier 2 tower, and this time around they have him. He was going to assassinate Ponlo after he de-warded this high ground, but turns out to not be the right call. He gets killed. They also brought Skeeter for this one, so this is one of the few times this game that it's happened that Skeeter is available for a fight while Erica is farming elsewhere. I like to see this. 70. Oh no. Can he get out of here? He rolls away. Fairly tanky hero. Still has 1,000 HP left. Rolling boulder in 1 second, and he's good. Oh, he's fine.
Okay, 7E. Breaking a few ankles. This is good signs here from Team Zero. Falcons are doing a good job of just trying to utilize their net worth, but nice responses from Team Zero. They're really getting in and punishing a lot of that overzealousness coming in from Maureen. Getting that extra kill, and ZZQ just being in the right place at the right time, right? Like just being able to sit around that tower, bait out Pon Low, get that overgrowth out, man, so those extra auto attacks didn't come in onto the sniper. They're going to try and get the kill here on 7E.
Going for him again. This time around, though, they have him. Caught him in the corner. Stormhammer is there, and a lot of damage. Flush coming in from Crit. Blowing up 7E. They still haven't managed to take this tower, though, away from him. Even though they've killed him a few times in this game, this tower still remains decently healthy. ZZQ's constantly healing it up. And honestly, like, the gold lead is now 3k in favor of Falcons, but it was 2k for like 10 minutes. The lead isn't slipping away from Team Zero as fast as I thought it would, given how the start of this game looked.
Yeah, they've really done a good job of just giving up parts of the map that aren't as important to them as previously thought. So they've done a good job of just keeping a lot of their towers alive and just being able to still play around that triangle. As you can see, Ponlo's doing a really good job of just keeping this top tower safe, throwing out a few more of these shrapnels, keep getting these stacks off, and Erica's got a BKB basically on the way, about 200 gold away, and they will have it. So BKB, Dragonlance, Mask of Madness now done for Erica on the Shadow Fiend. So there is ways for them to play around it, but you can just see Falcons, they go, okay, we haven't been able to get much movement on the tower front, so let's just walk into a Roshan. There's no way that Team Zero can come in and try and contest this. We get an Aegis, and we'll see how we go.
He's smoked, though, on Team Zero. 5 hero smoke, they're coming in, and we've already seen in previous series that you can lose the Aegis and win the fight. And this is not the fastest Aegis in the world. This is taking a while. They might even be giving up on it, Falcons. Okay, they are committing, but they clearly do not look super confident about all of this. Snaking will break some of the smoke, so he's going to get caught out. They should be able to kill him off quite quickly. Amar, Skeeter does manage to pick up the Aegis, and now Malreen in the pit with the Rolling Thunder, holding him in place. But look at Erica from outside the pit, just laying in the damage. They've already taken one life away from Skeeter. Amar with his BKB needs to flee a hell away from here. And they are still chasing. This Radiant lineup, they've got some mobility. It's Erica, baby. He comes in, rolls up onto Amar, kills him off. So that's a Doom gone. The Aegis already taken away. And looks like Team Zero demonstrating yet again that they will not give up, that this game is not over. Erica still has a massive role to play.
Yeah, I mean, the damage, just being able to stand outside of the pit and throw those right clicks in, Aegis does not matter. Skitter goes down early on, and you could just see that it was all panic stations there for Team Falcons. I was not expecting a contest that came in there from Team Zero, but they had other plans. Feels like with that BKB, the Shadow Fiend is completely untouchable. Doesn't have to worry about the Rolling Thunder, and as long as he doesn't get doomed, he doesn't care. So, I mean, even if he does get doomed, does it really matter? He can still use his items, he can still BKB, he can still Mask of Madness and throw some hands. So, Team Zero doing a really, really good job of just kind of understanding the game state at that point, and just understanding that their Shadow Fiend is oh so strong, and they are wrangling this game back here, Snare. Things are starting to look up for them, and Falcons just have not been able to take over the game just yet, and we talked about it in the draft. Things can get really weird when it comes to the scaling. The Shadow Fiend can be a problem. Same with this Earth Spirit, so Falcons, this lead is slowly starting to slip away, and I think a lot of their gold is mainly off the back of the fact they have a Doom and they have a Nature's Prophet who are just naturally greedier heroes.
Yep. Hell, even this Nature's Prophet haven't been able to leverage really that much of his strength on the pushing department. Oh, Rolling Thunder. Catches Ponlo. Is there any way out of this one? Nah. Okay. Blood is dead. Oh. Sorry, fam.
Yeah, this is the problem I foresaw in the draft, right? Like, there's just too many heroes to get on top of him. If you're in a bad spot, you're going to get Nature's Prophet TP'd on. Until he has the grenade, the concussive grenade, that could help him quite a lot. You know, you can break some ankles when it comes to the Pangolier. You can try and juke and drive him up and down some high grounds and stuff. But until then, unfortunately for Ponlo, he is just going to be a dude who's going to walk around and get seen by some of the callers on Falcons, and they will say that he dies.
7E, how far are we from his BKB? Oh, it's flying out right now. This is the power spike. Dual BKB on two of your cores. The other one has the Blink Blade Mail. Not that far away from the pipe, so maybe you wait to finish the pipe first, and then that's your like a really big spike in this game. And indeed, the pipe is finished on Beyond. Yep. Yeah.
I was going to say, I was just going to check it and see how long that was going to be, but yeah, this is a big timing now for Team Zero, right? Their Shadow Fiend has the Chrysalis done. He's getting close towards the Daedalus. They still haven't lost their T1 tower in the top lane. We've got a lot of damage that's starting to come out here. They've got the drums completed as well on the Ponlo, so they've got a lot of these auras that can really back up the Shadow Fiend, and Can he get close before ZZQ gets that Blink Dagger? But Blink Dagger on the tree, it's going to be pretty scary in these fights after the shard as well. So Team Zero, they're starting to get to this point, whereas for the side of Team Falcons, we really haven't seen much out of Skitter, right? Like, he's got a BKB, he's got this Glepney, he's got another item flowing to him, just a fluffy hat. So Snatch's Prophet just really hasn't taken over the game. Like, we haven't seen from what we expected, maybe just with how fast Malrine was playing, Skitter kind of got the agency to just farm, but haven't really seen the presence from the next Prophet.
On the bright side, now that he is this farmed up, there is a not insubstantial amount of right-click damage available for him. And looks like he wants to also build into a Hurricane Pike at some point too. The Skeeter does have a lot of time to let his influence be known. The main problem he has to worry about still though is that Erica, if it's even farm between Erica and Skeeter, Erica wins that fight like 100 times out of 100. So he needs to out-farm him, and now they're going for crit. 7E kicks him back towards the rest of the team. Not that much damage so far, but eventually they slowly chunk away through the Snapfire, killing him off. And now that she's dead, the path potentially lays open to put some pressure onto the tier 2 tower in the mid lane.
Looks like they're going to try and fight it though. They are pump faking the Rolling Thunder. Amar and the gang holding off on his right hand side. This is going to be an interesting fight.
Oh, BKB comes out from the Shadow Fiend. Look at the damage on Amar with this Daedalus from the Shadow Fiend. Snake King also needs to get the hell out of here. Malrine just wants to try and close down the SF. Hits him with the stun just as the BKB expires. But they have already lost 2, and now 7E goes back in with the Magnetize going on to multiple heroes. Skeeter's BKB is finished. Skeeter's life is gone. He is down for the count. Malrine gets rolled into. He's also going to get magnetized down. Ponlo credited with that kill. They decided to start the fight 4 versus 5. And Fluke, my oh my, do they get punished for that choice.
Yeah, that was a perfect bait there from Team Zero. They would have loved to have Erica survive, but you can just see the damage as soon as ZZQ is in a perfect spot. This is probably one of the best train protector performances I've seen in a very, very long time. I think ZZQ has been playing magnificently this game. Always in the right position to get a lot of these big overgrowths off to kind of save the SF, but also give him enough of this space that he can start to throw out the right clicks, right? You saw the amount of damage that he threw onto the Sven. He just had to completely run away. All the damage that was going in onto Amar as well, and they just had to overcommit for the other cores. And as soon as you put all this emphasis onto the Shadow Fiend, we saw exactly what happens with the Centaur as well as the Earthspit, right? They've got plenty of damage on their other cores to continue these fights.
Yeah.
Just look at this, though. Like, they go instantly in with the BKB, and then they just go, oh, crap, we doomed the wrong person. He still deals so much damage with this Doom. And as soon as his BKB wears out, yes, he can go down, but they've just overcommitted so hard. They had to do your own BKBs, they had to use their own Rolling Thunder, and it's just too much damage that comes in from 7E.
You know the fight is good when they don't even need to use the BKB on 7E. He just rolled in and did what he needed to do. And now they kill off crit again. This could easily lead into another tier 2. And this time, something tells me, Fluke, that I don't think they'll fight them for this one. Falcons might let them have it.
Yeah, it definitely will. And that's kind of the positive of this Earth Spirit as well, right? It's when I was talking about, you know, this like Earth Spirit or, you know, like this Earth Shaker kind of hero that really wants to play for 7Es. It is just kind of one of these heroes that is just so naturally tanky, right? Like you build strength items. He's got Blade Mail, he's got a BKB, now he's got his Sange. Like, he has 2.7k HP, he's got all this armor, all this HP, and it is just so easy for him to just kind of hold on to that BKB for as long as he wants. And if Doom and Rolling Thunder are gone, then it's all kind of game over.
This time around, they doom ZZQ. Dude, if I'm ZZQ and I'm like, guys, they doomed me, they pop BKB, and they're Rolling Thundered for me, bro, I'm actually the GOAT right now.
Yeah, that's like a Pos 5's dream right there, right? Where you just see them, they use all these spells and use all these items on you. So now they've got this little moment of opportunity for them to try and run around. They don't have, they won't have Doom for what, like another like 70 seconds by the time ZZQ's back up. They still have opportunities to try and take some more of these towers. The one unfortunate thing for them is it's only really tier 3 towers they can take. There's no Roche for another potentially 30 seconds. All the tier 2 towers are gone because Erica claimed the last one to send. So it's not really going to be a good place for them to try and fight.
I'm about to have a potential fight here. It might be 4v5. Okay, Skeeter sends in some treants, scouts out that the SF is farming here. I think it's much better about going in for that engagement. And they were bringing in 7E and the gang. Skeeter's still around, but they don't have the right vision. Ponlo, is Ponlo going to see him? Ponlo sees him. They have the Observer Ward there. They're going to jump on him.
BKB.
Fluke, I think he's dead. He's going to get jumped on. Before he can get off the BKB, he just stunned into oblivion. Erica takes a scalp off of Nature's Prophet, kills him very, very quickly. And that is now all of a sudden Team Zero with a 2k gold lead for themselves.
Yeah. Big ward there from Ponlo, just being able to scout out Skidder just there. And they were nice and patient as well. And I think that is something that is a really positive sign for me watching this Team Zero team is they look very calm. Even though that we already touched on it going into this, like it is 4 debutantes for them coming into TI. This is the first time their organization has been at TI as well. It's been a long road for a lot of these players, and they seem like they are not faltered at all when it comes to versing probably one of the favorites for the tournament. You know, going into this group as well. These guys are playing very well, and they're really starting to force out the extra hand from Team Falcons. But this is exactly what we talked about in that first series, right? Heroic put a lot of pressure onto Extreme, and they showed why they are one of the favorites as well in their group. Now it's on Team Falcons to see if they can pull this one back.
Oh, I know what happened, bro. I see the buff. When Erica went to TI, 2021, they got top 6 on Vici, right? And he changed his name for that tournament to Poyoyo, and they did really, really well. Went back to Erica for a while. They started doing trash, and now YSR 04E. This is the one.
Yeah, this was the one when I remember, you know, in a few seasons of the China DPC, this is what Erica was rocking, and he went back to Erica again, and now he's back to YSR 04E.
Yes. Roshan is up. Very important objective for both of these squads. And they're inside at first for the side of Team Zero. Okay, ZZQ needs to be perfectly positioned for the scout out, but this is also dangerous to jump into. If you don't have vision of an Earth Spirit out of a Treant Protector, do you really want to make a blind jump here?
Oh, ZZQ.
ZZQ does get seen. They dust him up as well, but it's too late. The Aegis is gone. It's in the hands of Erica, and now 7E trying to start the fight. He's slowing down Snake King. And Snake needs some assistance. Fire Snap Cookie will be there, but nonetheless, the roll still catches up to him. He is going to be dead for sure. Doesn't have buyback either. They could start pressuring on this top side of the map, force another 4v5 engagement.
Yeah, Falcons have done a really good job at just keeping a lot of these lanes pushed in, though, so they do have to try to go through this top avenue. A big thing as well was Skidder was farming in that same spot that he got caught out before, so that I'd imagine that he would have expected there to be a ward towards his top Tormentor, but the ward was scouting out that Skidder was farming Ancients, so if you're Team Zero, you're more than happy with that. Yes, he can TP in, but you have full vision of him TPing in if there was a fight that was going to be a brewing.
Tier 3 tower under siege, snaking back in 10 seconds. Some time will be bought with the fortification, but there's absolutely no way. And of course, the Roshan's banner is here as well. Frustrating matters. Erica still has this Aegis. He's going to try as much as possible to kill off this Rax. Jump in, look at Beyond. They found Skeeter. Can they kill him off? No, they cannot. Still does have BKB. In the meantime, now they go on the back end of the fight. They've doomed up 7E. They're throwing in some Morty's Kisses with this Rolling Thunder. But all these heroes are getting away, Fluke. They can't hold them in position. Now look at Amar. He gets stunned up. He cannot catch up to 7E. The Doom is about to expire. So now 7E going back into the fight. Skeeter also making himself known with the BKB, but he's gonna regret this as he dies off, killed by Erica. He's the first casualty of this fight, but man, what a hero to lose here. On the bright side, they did get Beyond, they did get Ponlo, but can they deal with the rest of the lineup, the rest of Team Zero? Malrine barely escapes by the skin of his teeth. 7E, very low, but with the Blade Mail up, look how tanky he is. He does eventually die, but it took so much effort, and now it's gonna be Erica cleaning house, getting himself a double kill. He certainly wants more, but even more than that, he wants to end this game. He wants this Rax. They force a buyback out of snaking.
He still has
Can
Aegis.
they somehow defend without Skeeter, without the Doom of Amar? And he still has Aegis, you're right.
So they've got Rolling Thunder, they don't have their BKBs available, but with no buyback here on Amar, this is basically just going to be a free couple of lanes of Rax here for Erica. How do they touch this Shadow Fiend? That's the real question. A Team Zero, they're in the driver's seat here. This is a very good performance from them being able to just rally behind Erica here on the Shadow Fiend, and this could be something that a lot of these other teams have to look at with these Chinese teams. They are very much favoring this Shadow Fiend in that carry role, and the only real way they can do it is they need to try and force this SF BKB, but he's got it back up available again. Same with the Stampede. It's going to be too hard, especially with the respawn coming in from 7E.
7E, look at the damage already from Erica, okay. Standing his ground, still has the BKB, not activated just yet. Happy to just put some pressure onto these heroes. They send him back to the low ground with this Hurricane Pike. I think he
He's
still
still
dies
alive.
here. The first life should get taken away. And indeed it is. The question is now, what do you do about 7E? He's ready to fight. There's still a BKB to go from the Shadow Fiend. Malreen on the high ground. They're trying to chase down Beyond. He pops in the Stampede. In the meantime, Erica, he's just sitting and delivering in the backline.
Oh
Look at
my
ZZQ. Overgrowth on the 3 heroes. The cleanup crew is 7E and Erica. And they just call it. This fight is too much. The power of SF is too much. With a triple kill, give this man an ultra, if you will, as GG has been called, and Team Zero have defeated Falcons.
Mr. 70.
7E, show us some more magic, my friend. Game 1, you got rocked in the lane, came back super hard for the game. This time around, though, can he reprise that? You know what I'm really worried for, man? These supports on Falcon side. Bro, I do not want to be Chen in this game, looking at this draft. It does not look like a good time.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're just getting snot rocketed from ZZQ. Like, this is like the idea with Snot Rocket, right? Like, he's going to be tanky. He's going to get like a Pavis and like a Solar Crest, and he's going to build some auras. And then ZZQ is going to walk in and he's going to spit on everyone.
Yep.
And then as he spits on people, they're going to throw damage at him. And then he's going to keep spitting more. And then everyone's going to have negative 35 armor. And then one Quill Spray will one-tap everyone.
Yep.
That's the plan here from ZZQ. I mean, I want to see it work out. I really want to see it work out.
Okay, we've got a little bit of time. Total amount of player deaths, I say 1625. You good?
I say 26 to 35. I think it's going to be very fast-paced from Team
Okay.
Zero.
Malreen for damage, magic.
Yep.
Player deaths 11 to 15.
Yep.
Roshan 3.
Yep. I think that's fine.
All right. We have consensus. And now we have a very good game of Dota. Ah, bro, they also got 3 bounties. It's over. Wrap it all up.
It's a hard start when you're playing against these greedy supports and they, you know, the thing is, like, when you're playing against these heroes like Pos 5 Bristle, and they just get like that extra like couple hundred gold, means they just get boots faster, and then they just get to like do their weird thing to you just a little bit quicker, you know. So it's just like it can actually mean quite a lot when you're playing against these weird Pos 5s.
Well, certainly going to be a weird game as we are now underway. In the second game of our group stage, the Team Zero, at the very least, have secured a draw, but now want to make it a little bit more important than that.
I mean, I'm not the pro player here, but I don't think starting with Snot level 1 is good for ZZQ. He's just throwing Snot on crit and then can't get anywhere near him because he's a ranged hero. Like, I got an auto attack. Okay, I'll take it back. Okay. He's a cute goat. Yeah, I'm interested to see what his build plan is, and what the point is with this bristleback. Like, I obviously understand the point, but just trying to make it work in this game is going to be very interesting for me to see how Team Zero play around this and whether or not it's going to be something that they're going to do moving forward for a couple of the other series. Because, you know, we saw in previous times some Southeast Asian teams, you know, Position 5 Troll, Position 5 Timbersaw, they can work. But it's about making sure that you're not just kind of throwing this game into the wind because you wanted to try it.
If this was a few years ago, before Doom got like all the armor buffs, when you used to start with 0 armor, man, imagine how much you would have hated this lane.
Oh, just gooed and then ran out. Like, you probably would have just gotten Swarm level 2, to be perfectly honest, and you would have just clicked him, and he would have done like 500 damage because he had negative 6 armor at, you know, minute 1.
While Ponlo is leading, snaking away in a bit of a chase, Beyond and Skeeter just playing around each other. I mean, unlike when you're playing Bristleback in this lane, Beyond can't really pressure this DK, but DK can't like completely muscle him out either. So they should be A-okay here. Just trading farm as much as they can.
Yeah, I think it should be a pretty decent lane for Beyond in that bottom side. He's going to be relatively okay. They can't really punish him all too much, especially with Ponlo being able to be around with the cookie. So he should definitely be A-okay. Positive news, though. 7E is the one that's winning this lane.
Hey.
13-5 against the 9-1. So this is kind of one of the positives for having this Slardar hero into the park is you don't ever want to get close enough that this Slardar can bash you. And also he just has such a big base damage kind of lead over the top of you. And he's just so hard for him to fight in the river because he can just stand and take these creeps, and you can see what 7E's already done. He's like double, tripled waves and just made it so he's kind of denying a lot of this experience against Malrine.
Yeah. He's straight up outplaying him in this mid lane. Looking super solid for him. Already has the bottle, going to start building into the bracer boots. This hero has potential to be really, really scary in this game, man. Like, especially for these supports, like I was saying. If I'm any of them, the moment that I see Slaughter missing off the map, I'm starting to fear for my life, especially once he has that Blink Dagger eventually.
Yeah, I think the positive thing as well is he can kind of gank any side lane, right? Like, he has a lot of kill threat when it comes to the Centaur Snapfire lane because they provide a lot of damage for him. And then on the other side, ZZQ as well as Erica, as long as they put one of their armor debuff spells in and he throws out a Corrosive Haze, he will kill someone. So we've got a lot of positive things here for Team Zero, but also for Falcons, this is a nice little slow game for them to start it here. I was expecting this game to be much more fast-paced. We've got a Chen with his position 5 Bristle. I was expecting people to run at each other and punch people in the face, but looks like both these two teams have done the handshake. Gain them too and want to play a nice little slow one.
I don't know if Falcons should be letting them do that handshake. Like, as this game gets scales later and later, it does get pretty terrifying. Okay. Unable to bring down Erica there. Yeah, but I feel like if I'm picking this snowball type of draft, if there's like a Chen or whatever in the game, I want to be ahead by the time we hit 15 minutes. Don't want it to be an even game at that point. Especially when the enemy team has, like, our big hero that can scale in Skeeter. The enemy has more than enough tools to deal with him, regardless of what items he buys later in the game.
Yeah. And I think the crazy thing is, as you start getting later, depending on ZZQ's build order, like, he can start to build into some of these items where he will transition into a core, right? Like, we've seen, him now going into Snot Rocket. Like, this hairball is going to be a big problem as well, right? Like, he's going to get that Aghanim Shard. You get some of these goo talents as well, is where things really start to get a bit spooky for them. And at level 15, he can just build into Crimson Pipe, and then eventually he's just going to start dealing damage. Erica.
He's fine. Had the full magic wand out, chilling with his Falcon Blade. For all of my Weaver enjoyers in the chat, please do not forget to buy Falcon Blade on this hero. And now they're potentially trying to go onto Crit, but ZZQ is a little bit too squishy. Ends up being the first blood. Crit is going to end up dying, but Erica in danger too. But here comes Pondlo, came through the Twin Gate. Will they be able to bring down Amar? Oh no, the Centaur Conqueror betraying Team Zero here. But Amar will get caught in by the Scatterblast. Should almost certainly end up dead here. Erica credited with a double kill for his efforts.
Yeah, I mean, the minus armor really just coming into fruition there. He had 2 stacks of goo on him and the bugs, so it meant that Erica basically half HP'd him with 1 hit of the Geminate attacks, even though he doesn't really have that much of the items. So this is where things are really starting to come together. Fortunately for ZZQ, would have loved that to just kind of turn into their own double kill, but not as tanky as you would think, especially with no levels in the Bristleback. Thought he would have. Yeah, okay, I was going to say he gets one now. Just have that little Bristleback at level 3, just be a bit of a nuisance. You don't really need quills. Level 1 quills are kind of bad, so a bit of a waste of mana at this point. I would have loved to have just seen, get a little tanky, get a lot of this goo rocket, and then just rely on the Weaver's right clicks to pull you through this lane. But great start already here from Team Zero. Everyone's starting to get their own leads in their lanes, and this is where things get spooky for Falcons, because first item timing with like a BKB or whatever, or a blink, it's going to be hard for Falcons to deal with all this damage.
They do at the very least ensure that their first rotation with the puck ends up being useful. You were mentioning earlier about how good Slaughter can be with his rotations. Puck also pretty good. Down bottom, you provide the magic damage that they need, and up top, you give them some additional catch onto this Weaver hero.
He has haste.
He might actually still go to the top lane. There's a haste rune here from 7E. Look at the damage that Amar took. What? All right. That just happened. Crit also not necessarily enjoying himself right now, trying to run away, but yeah, you're going nowhere, buddy, except straight to the fountain.
That crush did like 500 damage. What was that? Oh,
That was
I mean,
Dota 2,
minus
my
armor
friend.
strats. Let's go. I mean, how many levels does he have in goo? 3 levels in goo, and I think he had like 2 stacks on him, and he got corrosive hazed, and then maybe bugs. Like, that is like negative like 30 armor already. And he hit him with a crush that deals base How much damage does it do? 300 damage.
Down
300
bottom, Beyond is
physical
getting
gets
gone on.
amplified.
I think he's gonna die here, and he will. 7E looking to try and avenge his compatriot. The crush going out onto Snake. Here comes Erica as well. The bugs will connect onto both of these supports. One is already down. Crit needs some help. He needs some assistance. He needs to get the hell out of here. Erica turning targets instead towards Skeeter, who also has a haze on him. He's been snotted to death. And yeah, we see why they went for this draft. And Crit, ooh, ships by night next to Ponlo. Ponlo barely missed him. Sees him now on the observer ward. They're not done chasing. 7E is going to have access to the Guardian Sprint in just a moment. How badly do they want this kill? Oh, they see him. Crit. Gonna end up dead here. Fire Snap Cookie will come out. He's stunned up right now though, but 7E will find the kill. Beyond also in the mid lane. They have access to the Slithering Crush. Snake King just respawned, guys. Have some mercy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is insane. This is wild. That was a full HP DK. They got half HP by a crush. Like, what is going on, man? This is so cool to watch. This is like something that, like, I think I can't remember who was talking about it. I was talking about it when OG were abusing like just stacking DR, right? This is kind of a pretty similar concept where it's just like you're just stacking amplification of damage on physical damage, which everybody has. So it is just one of those things where you just see like this massive amount of minus armor that like even a spell like Crush, yes, it does do quite a lot of damage. 300 is quite a lot for a physical spell, but it just half HPs people.
Top lane, we're gonna lose the Bristle back, but oh, guess what? We killed Bristle. Oh, it's a support. And the question is, can they get out of here alive? 7E is here. And they get the Dream Coil out onto 7E. Doesn't have that many more allies around him. Ponlo is here. Does have the Fire Snap Cookie, but they commit absolutely everything for that one. That was not just a kill necessary for the map. That was an emotional kill, man.
Yeah, that was Amar saying, you are not crushing us for half of our HPs. And that's where we got a little preview of the Snot Rocket, ladies and gentlemen. They took all that time. There was 5 to 6 stacks on everyone that was around the Bristleback. So I think these Snot Rockets are going to be pretty annoying in these fights because all he has to do is just build tanky. Like, he needs to take damage. And if he's not taking damage, then he's snotting on people. And then he's still doing what he's designed to do. So I really like this idea from them. It's about whether or not they can keep it together until this Falcons draft comes online. So we're seeing this very interesting start to the game of game number 2 here, where Team Zero, they have nothing to lose, and they're doing a really good job of just being aggressive. This is what I wanted to see from them. They're at this point where they have this overwhelming amount of damage that 7E is kind of the player that they really want to play around, and this is where they're putting a lot of these very deep wards.
Poor Crit wandered towards the mid lane, thinking, you know, I should be safe under my tier 1 tower. You thought wrong, buddy. They kill him off. Tier 1 tower should be taken away as well as Erica joins in to aid in this push. Man, this map just feels like a very scary place right now for these heroes on Falcons if they're not like grouped up as a 5-hero combination. Top lane.
Amar had to TP away from the supports.
Yeah, case in point, man. ZZQ's like, oh, you gotta leave. And Snake King, can he get out of here? Okay, Ponlo can't find the angle for the Fire Snap Cookie, so he's out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like, you get like 6 or 7 stacks of goo on you, and you're like, if anybody comes close to me, I die. Like, they just deal so much damage to you that you can't even stand and deliver. So it's all about, not so much about the damage itself, but it's the threat, right? Where it's now at the point where Beyond has this Blink Dagger. I like that he rushed this on the Centaur, just allows him to keep playing fast. And 70 has his own as well. So this is go time if you're Team Zero. They just want to go in and deal damage.
The Blink has been scouted by an Observer Ward, so they should be playing carefully. But now they're just controlling your triangle, taking away your vision. Now Reno's showing a little bit. He needs to be a bit careful here. He's on 600 health against the Slaughter. Not a safe place to be at the moment.
They're taking stacks, though. This is massive from Team Zero. They walked in, they found these big old stacks coming in from the side of Team Falcons, and they just took all of them. That was all in ZZQ's hands, by the way. So he just got himself a whole lot of gold, sitting himself nice and healthy above the top of all the supports, and now it's work time.
Melreen! He blinked forward. He needs to get out of here, but they do not have the tools to do it. Crit now, trying his best to TP out to safety. Should be able to do so. Oh no, he jaunted forward, Fluke. Oh, that's the worst possible time that could have happened.
Yeah, that's sometimes it's being a puck player, right? Like you're throwing all these orbs out, you're blinking around, you're jaunting, and sometimes you just jaunt into 5 heroes and you lose your life. So, watching now for Falcons, this is the kind of conundrum that they're in. How do they try and keep this going? There's 2 blink daggers up on 2 of these cores. They've got this overwhelming amount of minus armor. They haven't been able to take any of these towers with the Chen as well. They've only taken a tier 1 tower top. Erica's still sitting back and farming. They're still going to take a little bit of time until Malrine as well as Amara are definitely wanting to fight. So they want to try and get aggressive. Okay, seeing if they can try and catch out any of these cores, just trying to over-aggress and seeing if they can try and alleviate the pressure on the map that way. They don't really have the vision for it, though. They've got 1 ward up in the triangle and 1 ward towards the top twin gate. But no vision on anybody else's shed. ZZQ, though, against the world. He's snotting.
He's snotting. He's snotting. They do kill him, but 3 instances of snot on everybody. You know, minus 15 casual armor. Nice.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem in team fights. If they put... I honestly think if you're Falcons, you have to ignore him in team fights. You just have to ignore him and just say, whoever gets snotted, then what else we can do? You know, like you're just going to have to die. Whereas instead of putting all this emphasis on trying to take down the Bristle, he's going to snot everyone. And then if 7E gets, 1, 2-man crush, gets an amplified damage on anybody, it's just going to hurt. And speaking of crit, whoa, he got whacked.
Yeah. Well, did say that if I'm lying, or Chen, I'm terrified about this game. Unfortunately, crit demonstrating this. You know what's also really weird? I'm looking down at Skeeter, who's farming and trying to get himself into a decent position. He's angling towards a Blink Dagger on this Dragon Knight. Is Blink the way to go here? Because he's not going to have a BKB soon, not going for the Manta Rush. Do you think he needs the mobility more than he needs the stats?
No, I definitely feel like I would have preferred him to go for like just being this big, tanky, scary hero. You know, we saw what K1 was able to do in the previous series up against Extreme, but it looks like they want to play aggressive. They want to try and turn the tides here up against Team Zero. They want to try and fight into these heroes because they are quite scary, you know, like Blink and Armlet. They've got a lot of damage to try and take down some of these heroes, but is it going to be the right hero at the right time? 7E.
He gets jumped on right now, but he is fairly tanky in his own right. They do drop the Doom on top of his face, so he does die without buyback. ZZQ has shown up as well, just throwing in the Snot Rocket. Amar right now is sitting with a ton of minus armor, and will Erica show up? Morty's Kiss is being thrown in by Ponlo from the back end of the fight, whilst Erica is trying to lay in the damage, but unfortunately, they lost ZZQ a little bit too soon, so now they need to beat a very hasty retreat from here. Malrine chasing down Ponlo underneath the tier 2 tower, and he will end up dead. They blink forward looking for Erica. They will not find him, but they'll come across Beyond instead. He traps them though, Erica with the Gleipnir underneath the tier 2 tower. The tower is doing some work, but it's not doing enough. Skeeter, Armlet toggles himself to safety. 4 heroes have fallen, and Team Zero finally find themselves on the bad end of a fight here in Game 2 against Falcons.
Yeah, this is why Falcons are one of the top teams in the tournament, right? Where you look at these guys and they just understand the timing that they wanted. They were all on the same page when it came to this DK Blink Dagger, and they got the perfect opportunity. They catch out 7E, they blow up the Slardar. They don't have to worry about this massive amount of physical damage because Erica, you can see in the top part of this replay, he's just not full HP and he's not full mana either. He has to TP in tier 2 this fight. Fight's already about halfway done. He gets hit with a breathe fire straight away, so that a lot of this minus armor isn't really helping him all too much because of the amount of negative damage that he's doing. So right now, you can just see that Team Falcons understand that as long as 7E is dead, they don't have to worry about all too much.
Also, that fight was for Skeeter. That Blink Dagger just paid for itself immediately, pretty much. That was an excellent way for them to get forward. Unfortunately, they did have to commit pretty much all their ultimates, so there's nothing left in the tank to contest Roshan. And Team Zero will happily claim it. However, Falcons, they needed that kind of fight. It also opens up the tier 1 tower for them in the mid lane at long, long last. Things are starting to look up for them, fam. Things are starting to look up.
Yeah, they're starting to get that hold back in. You can just see the kind of avenue for them to take a lot of these fights as well. But they have to be careful now fighting into an Aegis. They need to make sure they don't overstep their bounds all too far, because that was definitely a very ideal team fight for them. They got rid of 7E, and then they even got a lot more of the Team Zero members to fight into them as well.
Fights are going to be harder to come by, especially if they have Erica around with 7E. Smoke now up for Team Zero. They're getting close to the BKB as well on 7E, but they want to try and get a fight before that.
Okay, the Doom and the Dragon Knight are not here right now, so if they can find these heroes inside the jungle, pretty easy pickoffs. Snaking, he will get scouted in a moment. Will they jump in? Of course they will. 7E is there. Alright, let's see how long this takes. He's got corrosive on him and some bugs. And they're gonna get bashed up. He's still alive for now, actually. Okay, Scatterblast will eventually bring him down. But that's some promising situations. We do have a Doom now being thrown out onto the Centaur, but it happens after the Stampede, so he gets away from the puck. Team Zero immediately bounding back, trying to find somebody. Oh no, the flag bearer creep, it's Sea-Skeeter! It gave the vision! The creeps!
They got him.
They found him! There's no way out for him here. He does not have a BKB. He doesn't even have a TP scroll if he did. And he will be killed off. Yo, some of we should change the name from creeps, man. These are just allies. They had their back, ensuring the kill onto the DK, and now opening up the tier 2 tower as well.
Yeah, make way, Agent M. It is Agent F for flag bearer, putting out Skeeter there in the trees. And we were just touching on the fact that Falcons are getting themselves back into this game to really be able to hit their timings and play the game they wanted to play. And they just got caught out ever so slightly there, and the fact that Beyond was able to get the Stampede off before getting doomed was absolutely massive. Means they don't have to fight into that, didn't have to fight into the Dream Coil either. And with Team Falcon, with a lot of those teamfight ultis kind of done, like if they don't have Doom and they don't have Dream Coil, things are really hard for them. Like it is very hard for them to try and fight.
They're about to lose crit in this top lane. Straightforward kill. I will say, Malrine saved the bottom lane like a boss. Because as soon as he saw the kill happening onto DK, he immediately went to the back end and started cutting waves. So they couldn't actually apply the pressure properly. Really heads up play. If he doesn't do that, they are down at tier 2 tower right now. Much less real estate to play with. Definitely did the right thing.
Is Zizuku trying to solo a Tormentor?
He's no. Fluke, you're lying to me. This is not happening. Is this happening, dude?
No. He's got hairball.
No way. This is not
Come on,
happening.
ZZQ. Nah, he dies here. He dies.
Can't.
Yeah, he got.
Doesn't have enough. If he had like 15 one charges, I think maybe, but not like that. Still, though, it's pretty crazy that a POS 5 hero can solo a Tormentor down to like 30% HP.
Yeah, just, I mean, a few more levels in Quills, and that's definitely just a free kill there. So, on the Tormentor. But either way, they're going to put the pressure on their own tier 2, and they can just take this Tormentor. Or Amar, though. He wants to come in and fight. Does not have to blink, though.
Yeah, Skeeter does. He gets directly onto the Slaughter. They doom him. They kill him. They also find the chain disable onto Erica. First life taken away from the Aegis. Ponlo trying to beat a hasty retreat. He gets out, but there's absolutely no way Erica can do the same. And Team Zero, not only do they lose a bit of concentration, they got a bit greedy. They wanted the Tormentor and the tier 2 tower. Team Falcons punished them super hard for that decision.
Yeah, definitely just a little bit of greed there from Team Zero. Just overstepping their bounds. They just didn't really have everybody on the same page, and obviously ZZQ was on the other side of the map. He was having the regen. Beyond had already dipped out at that point, and with both your cores taking all that damage from the Tormentor as well, all it took was Amar to walk up. And that was a kill for them. They also got the Tormentor as well, did Falcons. So again, another swing in momentum going the way back of Team Falcons. They have to be careful of the rebuttal, though. Team Zero, they're just holding out for this BKB on 70. It felt like he's kind of been on this for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, his progression has definitely been delayed. 2 of the deaths that he suffered has been since he started angling towards that item. Certainly slowed him down. As a result, also, Erica has been playing a little bit forcefully, trying to find kills, not necessarily just find farms, so a bit delayed in his own BKB as well.
Finish it off.
And that's all.
Sorry, they were doing the Tormentor, and they both walked away when it was on like 1 HP. Just analyst things when you're watching people try and do a Tormentor with the one player. All right, now what is the question for Team Zero to wait for? I honestly think they just have to wait for. Okay, BKB is coming out now on 7E. Beyond is getting close towards that Crimson Guard as well, so now they can try and be the aggressors. But I think Falcons, they obviously with this network lead, they've put themselves in a very strong position. They've got Guardian Greaves to get rid of a lot of the goose stacks. They've got this Crimson Guard as well. They've got a lot of good stuff for them to be able to try and hold out from this overwhelming physical damage.
Thankfully for them, Doom is already starting to head closer towards the base. Another big item right now for the side of Falcons. You were speaking in the last game about how these pucks start to build into some physical right-click damage. We already have the full Parasma now up on this puck. Malrine is no slouch when it comes to how hard he can hit these heroes in the damage department. Oh, but he's like, oh my god, he almost died. He might still end up doing so. Dreamcoil back onto 2. Skeeter blinking in, he wants 7E, but now 7E pops his BKB. Skeeter doesn't have one of his own. The DK needs to get the hell out of here. Stampede popped as well. They're trying to get these heroes inside, and Erica, he's on the far side, on the west, easily able to right-click down Skeeter. They need to get out of here from the side of Falcons. Amar is in, throws out the Shiva's Guard, trying to create some space. Crit gonna have to be left behind. Can they catch up to anybody else? TPs right in front of their faces. They do not have the ways to cancel them. And the puck also able to angle himself into a safer position. So it's only 2 heroes that died, but man, that situation was so dangerous for Falcons. That really could have been a lot worse than it actually was.
Yeah, there was just a lot of pesky heroes for them to try and lock down. There was a lot of mitigation that came through with a lot of their auras, though. So Skeeter did survive for a decent amount of time, but you can just see that this Dragon Knight is just not a tanky hero when it comes to these fights, and Falcons did pretty well to be able to mitigate the losses that they had there, only losing out on Crit as well as Skitter. But the way this game is going, when you can see these 5v5 fights, they went on a Slider who has 2.7k HP and a full BKB, so it's just not having that extra bit of follow-up to try and take down that Slider just meant that fight was not going to go the way they wanted. I thought there was definitely going to be a straight disengage after Malrine got out of that kind of scot-free, so again, Falcons testing the waters, and unfortunately the waters bit back.
"25 minutes into the game right now. Still, Team Zero have equalized the goal lead, but the game still hangs quite closely in the balance. What's Skeeter bringing in right now? Is that his BKB?
No, it's a
not.
full
That's
Bloodthorn, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So the BKB for him is a bit spicy.
I mean, I guess on the one hand, he's thinking to himself, well, all the sources of like physical damage and minus armor goes through the BKB anyway, but even still, these stuns are a big problem for him in these fights.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? Like, it just gives him a bit of that extra movement around the fights, gives him that extra bit of HP, a little bit of damage as well, but wants to try and get the quick kills with the Bloodthorn.
Skeeter is actually jumping forward directly onto Ponlo. They wanted to try and burst down the Snapfire. They failed to do so. Now they need to get the hell out of here. Beyond has blinked in like 5 seconds. 7E finds the crush onto Skeeter. But I think on the side of Team Zero, they're just comfortable with not dying. They're happy with this.
Yeah, they shoved both of their top and bottom Creep Wave pretty heavily, so them not losing anything out of that, they only got a little bit of tick damage onto that tier 3 tower, means that Team Zero are more than happy with that. BKB fully completed now on Erica as well. 7E is getting close towards that Aghanim Scepter. He was hard to take down before. And Beyond's finished up all of the auras, so you just have to be careful here if you are Falcons. There's a lot of damage that's going to come out from Malrine, but if he gets caught by one stray stun and doesn't get that Waning Rift or his Blink or Phase Shift or anything off, he could be in trouble. And speaking of trouble, Malrine's here.
Malrine is indeed here. Can they catch him is the question. No, they cannot. They're so lucky on the side of Falcons that Malrine did that, because Amar was potentially the target instead. They do not want to lose their Doom early. Beyond, jumping directly onto the chair, not killed off just yet. There's going to be some bugs on the ground as the Doom flew in onto Beyond. ZZQ snotting absolutely everywhere, giving some opening for Erica and 7E to dish out damage onto the 2 supports, snaking the fall. Crit, can he get out of here as Ponlo dropping down the Morty's Kisses? They almost kill Erica. He gets off the time lapse. This Weaver just cannot be contained right now. It's only Amar and Skeeter left. 7E drops down the stun. It catches Amar. They're kiting them, they're creating some angles of space, but here is Snaking having brought back, looking towards Erica, able to kill him off. They didn't have enough in the tank to deal with Skeeter and with Amar, and of course Malrine was wreaking havoc with that double damage rune. It's a fight that was tough, it looked, for the side of Falcons, but they end up outplaying Team Zero pretty heads up in that one.
Yeah, a lot of kiting. A lot of kiting came out in that last fight. You can just see that they tried to commit on snaking. They just took too long. They took way too long to try and kill those supports. There was a lot of the BKB got used there by 7E. Malrine, Amar, and Skidder just freely able to go around in these team fights. You can see the amount of goo that's happening from ZZQ, but if you're not getting your 2 cores to get these right clicks in, and with a lot of this damage mitigation, it's very hard for you to try and confirm these kills. So you need to try and find a lot more of these fights where 7E is able to stick onto a target. Same thing with Erica. It feels like every single time that I look at these fights, Erica has almost no mana because Crit's able to just kind of stand there and get these mana drains off on basically everybody in these team fights. So Falcons, they've done a really good job at weathering the storm from Team Zero, which has been this massive minus armor kind of strat, and they've really been able to build for it now, and it's all on Team Zero to try and get these team fights going the way that they want them to, because as long as they are not getting, you know, their puck instantly blown up or, you know, their Dragonite getting caught alone, Team Falcons are happy with how these fights are going because they have so much sustain and so many of these auras.
We're also going to start building into some ACs next. Amar has fixed his armor problem, got Crimson Guard, Shivas, AC coming. Skeeter, maybe they're going for double AC, I'm not sure, but either way, they're trying to counter this minus armor strat coming in from Team Zero. Now Team Zero will be in a bit of a pickle. Aegis push coming in from Skeeter. Tier 3 tower already at half HP, and this time around they do not have access to the Tree and Protector. ZZQ getting jumped on. They're trying to burst him down quickly. He's still alive for now though. Able to get himself back. So they do not kill off this Bristleback. 7E now jumping in on top of Skeeter. The bugs will fly in from the Weaver as well. With the Gleipnir and the Morty's Kisses, this should be the first life away from the DK. And indeed it is. The Doom flew out onto 7E, but he pops BKB and just runs himself away. And now Beyond finding the stun out onto Skeeter. Can they get him out of here on the DK? Starting to armlet toggle right now. And 7E is still in base, healing up. So you won't be here to lay in some additional crushes. I think Team Falcons should be able to retreat.
Yeah, decent hold there from Team Zero. They had to utilize everything. So did the side of Team Falcons, though. So getting the kill there onto Skidder is going to make him a little bit more nervous going high ground in these next couple of minutes, because Team Zero, they want to fight as well. They know that there is still no BKB up here on Skidder, and he does not want to go for the BKB anyway. So we want to see if they can find him out here.
Get him. Stampede was popped for this one. And he's still really tanky with the Shiva's Guard. And now look at this. Skeeter jumped in on the backlines looking for Erica. They want to burst down this Weaver. They can't do it just yet. But now with Malrine showing up, they do. He's down without buyback. Skeeter, though, might die. They try to force off him away. He's at the corner of the fight. He's dishing in so much damage, Fluke. The burst damage from the AoE of this dragon. Yes, he will die, but he put in a lot of work before he went down. But now Beyond finding a 3-hero stomp into a multiple hero crush. But unfortunately, their HP pools are a little bit too low. Both Beyond and 7E end up dead. Amar with the triple onto Ponlo secures the team wipe. And Team Falcons, baby. Minus armor for what? We will just out-sustain you nonetheless.
Crit actually just hard carried that entire team fight. He got, what, like 3 or 4 multi-hero Earth Spikes to stop all of this initiation. If he wasn't in the position that he was in and he was the guy that was getting going on, these fights would look so different. Look, first one hits onto 2 of the cores. He's able to just sit back, get these mana drains going. They're able to get the amount of damage to be able to take down Erica. Massive for them. Doesn't overcommit, knows that he can't get too close to any of these heroes. Eventually, they will take down Skidder after taking so much damage. Another massive Earth Spike coming in from Crit. He sits back, he mana drains, he holds off on this Earth Spike because he knows that eventually this Earth Spike will be able to win the fight for them. Everybody's almost dead. Bang. And it is all over. Red Rover fought the side of Team Zero. And that was just one of those fights where I think it's just gotten to the point now where this minus armor strat is kind of gone out the window. Like, it will get to a critical mass, right? Like where it's like, okay, it's taking X amount of armor, but if we just build armor, then all of that X armor doesn't turn into negative armor. It just turns into, you know, we're only got 1 or 2 armor. So it's not like we're getting 3 hit, you know, it takes 6 or 7 hits for us to get done. So it's kind of at the critical mass now, Snare, where it is very hard for Team Zero to start winning these fights because everybody's oh so tanky. There's so much damage on the side of Falcons.
I think definitely in future, if they see Amar, they're going to give him a wide berth. Not the guy to go on first. definitely try to isolate and find. It has to be crit at this point, right? Snaking, as we've seen already, takes way too long to kill. Omar is clearly too tanky. They need to find and deal with this Lion. But Crit's positioning has been excellent, and that was before he picked up the Blink Dagger. Now he has it, so he can position even further back, even harder to catch out by these heroes.
Yeah, I think he's just doing so much work in a lot of these team fights that you kind of just need to burst him down. He's going to be one of the easier ones to take down. But can they get it?
Will get hit with the Finger of Death. He's still away right now. Beyond finding the stun, back onto Skeeter underneath the tier 4s. They throw out these Morty's Kisses. Do they have what it takes to kill Skeeter here? He's getting healed up, but look who they killed first. They took down Crit. And now they're just surrounding Skeeter. He eventually will fall. Everybody else getting the hell out of dodge. Okay, looks like they were listening, fam. Take down Crit, win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ponlo kind of put it perfectly there. They went so deep to try and kill Ponlo. This is the second time that they've dived to try and take down Ponlo. They haven't killed him. So there has to be something in the backs of their minds here for Falcons that is making it worth for them to try and dive and take down Ponlo here. Yes, trying to get the kill inside of the base is big, but now this is a big momentum shift for the side of Team Zero. Not only did you go so deep into their base that you didn't really get anything out of it, it's now at the point where they're starting to get the snap back with a lot of their creeps hitting into these tier 2 towers. So things are looking a bit spicy here for Falcons, and see what happens as soon as they lose Crit, right? Like he goes down and they don't have that extra bit of disable, and it's basically like at that point, what does the Doom and the Dream Call do for you if Crit's off the table?
Just got a Blink Dagger coming in for this Doom. Okay, Skeeter, after that fight, he's queued up BKB. It's always like this. Yeah. You know, you're doing really well as the carry. Mate, we don't really need the BKB. You have one, like, horrendous death, and you're like, yeah, you're okay. I see.
Yeah, like, I understand the idea behind it, right? Like, they've got Bash that goes through BKB. They've got, you know, like, all this other extra stuff that goes through BKB, but it just means that you don't just get, like, randomly cookied, and then you get crushed, and then you get who-stomped. Like, you actually have a way of combo breaking and potentially getting yourself away, because we've seen how extended a lot of these fights are. And if you get yourself that little bit of extra, you know, distance between you and the enemy, then that could mean survival or death, you know?
I just realized something. I'm looking at Hoof Stomp as a spell name. Are there any other spells that have the name of, like, a body part on them?
Now you're really testing my knowledge. A body part?
Yeah.
Not that I can think of.
Oh no! Erica!
There's buyback.
He gets jumped, killed, he buys back immediately. They want to take this fight. He even time lapses into the engagement beyond, looking towards killing off Crit. They want this Lion. He's still alive right now though. Going in, get some spell immunity from the mana drain. Eventually though, he will fall. And Skeeter not feeling very happy about where he's at right now. Erica. But they want to kill Erica off first, and Erica will die. That's a dieback for the Weaver. Huge play there. Skeeter now still decently fine in terms of the HP department, and beyond run out of mana and health. ZZQ in the same position. And 7E going to be forced to just watch them die. Honestly, Fluke, I think this game is over. He bought back on the Weaver. He can't come back into this. Now that they managed to kill Beyond, 7E will certainly fall here. Both of them have buyback, but neither of them have the damage necessary to dissuade Falcons from just destroying the base.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? They just don't have the damage, and you can just see they're getting a lot of these good initiations, but even Crit themselves is so strong. They're going to buy back and see if they can fight here with the first picked up BKB.
Don't have any ultimates left on the side of Falcons. Okay, 7E and Beyond going forward. Morty's Kisses raining in onto Skeeter, but it's not enough damage. Malreen even silences him. And now Skeeter flapping his wings in the Dragon Knight form. He's just too damn powerful right now. Another stun from Crit catches on the 2. They wipe them out. They take the game. GG, well played is called. And Falcons demonstrate that they will not go gently into